Mr. Lokesh, can you guys hear me?
Is it audible?
Audible?
They can hear me.
All right. So, Minister Lokesh, welcome to London. It's a privilege to have a visionary leader, a technocrat, someone who's always been a grassroots reformer amongst us today. And so thanks for joining us. The story of Andhra Pradesh is very well known. You have very quietly but very confidently taken the state to different level altogether. And the Vision 2047, whether it is the 2.4 trillion ambition and all the numbers that I saw in the presentation by Abhishek, it was also pretty evident to me that you are not just chasing numbers, you are architecting a future. And while we will unpack in our conversation the story of Andhra Pradesh, I think it will be a great way to kickstart our conversation by also learning a little bit about your personal journey, the man behind the vision, and somebody who I believe is equally comfortable with GDP numbers and spreadsheets at the same time decoding AI. So it'd be amazing to hear your thoughts.
No, thank you very much. Thank you, CII. Thank you to the Indian High Commissioner and his entire team for hosting me here. Really appreciate it. Just to quickly, before I jump into my background, I know Abhishek stole my thunder by making the presentation. But 3 reasons why Andhra is able to deliver. 1, we have a leadership with track record. Our Chief Minister requires no introduction. He's done it in the past with a combined state. He's doing it all over again with the new state. 2, speed of doing business. There's no state in India that's talking about it. Everyone's talking about ease of doing business. But let's understand it now. All of the companies here, the kind of investments that they're going to be making could be 10 million, ranging to about $1 billion or even more. A 6 months delay in your project throws your entire business plan. It completely goes out of whack. So we as a state understand the importance of speed of doing business. And I'll give you a few examples of how we got it done. ArcelorMittal, it's well known here. They are going to build one of India's largest steel plant in south of Visakhapatnam. And it all started with one Zoom call with Aditya Mittal. We did one Zoom call. He said he had 3 specific asks from the state. And all I said is, give me 12 hours. I need to confirm it with my chief minister. We got it confirmed and we got the project grounded. So this conversation started in June last year, 2024. Looks like June 24 is a good month because the LG Electronics conversation also started in June 2024. We are going to break ground in November for a steel plant. We got it done. Same thing with a company who name cannot be disclosed by me officially. They're going to build one of India's largest data center in Visakhapatnam. It's going to be a 1 gigawatt data center. We started it from ground up. That conversation, I think, happened around August, where I drove them personally, showed them the land, and got them excited about Visakhapatnam. To the domestic companies like TCS, with Chandra, I had this conversation, and TCS, because of the economic value that they add to the entire ecosystem and being IT, and you understand this better, we gave them land at 99 paise.
We are coming after you now.
Please, Abhishek, you have your first client ready now. So that's how we get things done. And that's what we mean in terms of speed of doing business. Please understand that, it's not just talk, but we actually mean it. 50% of our legislatures are first-time MLAs. 17 out of the 25 ministers are first-timers. So we bring a lot of passion, hunger. I'm one of the most senior one. This is my 2nd term in Mr. Naidu's cabinet. But we bring a lot of passion. And that brings to the 3rd thing, which is we are a startup state. We are not a Fortune 500 state. We're not content. We are hungry. Yeah. We're hungry for your business. And that's why in the last 15 months of this government, we've landed close to $120 billion investment. And please understand, we don't have an MOU with ArcelorMittal. We have not signed MOUs. We are not in the business of signing MOUs. We are in the business of grounding. That's our business, and we deliver on speed of doing business. So this is a little bit, I just wanted to sort of sum it up with what Abhishek shared. Coming to my background, I did my bachelor's at Carnegie Mellon, worked at the World Bank for 2 years, Stanford MBA. Majority of you don't know the other side of Mr. Naidu, who's a serial entrepreneur. He had 3 failed startups, and his 4th successful one was the dairy business. So I came back to the dairy business. Then my wife graduated from Stanford, decided I was no good for the business, threw me out of it. 2013, I've been a politician, and it's been a memorable journey ever since that.
Wonderful. You also did a Padyatra.
Yes, I did.
Helped you frame your political ideology and your thinking and your policies.
Stanford MBA was great for business, and Padyatra, I think, sort of gave me a lot of EQ, which was very important to understand the grassroots challenges of India and my own state. A lot of the policies, a lot of the conversations, a lot of the frameworks that we have developed is based on my walkathon. I believe that's very important. That's where we have taken a very ambitious target to create 2 million jobs in 5 years. We're one of the probably the only political party that makes such a bold statement. And that's why I'm here having this conversation with you while we have a collectors conference, which is a very important conference that I'm missing back home, because job creation is the center point of this administration. And that's how we are able to attract the kind of investments that we have.
No, thank you, Minister, for that glimpse into your journey and building on your passion for transformation. Let me zoom out a little bit. Today every boardroom is looking for their next frontier of growth. Is looking for the new economic hub, the new shiny city which can help them be the hub for growth. And many a times we have seen Andhra Pradesh right at the top of the list. So as you look into the future, you told me that a lot of your ministers are younger and you're probably one of the older ones, and I'm very surprised at that. You have such a long career ahead of you. How do you see things evolving for you beyond just the numbers that we all heard and for Andhra Pradesh?
No, if you look at the map, Andhra Pradesh is a peculiarly long state. We have the second longest coastline in India. And being a long state, it lends itself up for decentralized development. So what we have is, cluster-based approach. And I believe that that's very important for ecosystems to not only survive but thrive. So we've built an automotive ecosystem, of course, anchored around Kia. In the southern part, we have an entire ecosystem being built around drone. We have an ecosystem around renewable energy, solar, wind, pump storage projects. We have an ecosystem around electronics, semiconductors in that. And then we have an entire ecosystem around CBG, compressed biogas. The Quantum Valley, as Abhishek just shared, that's one. Aqua is another big thrust area for us as a state. Steel City, led by ArcelorMittal. We have a pharma city, medical devices city, chemical city. So we are able to build all these ecosystems because I believe in the importance of vertical and horizontal integration. Now, what do I mean by it? Now, let's take a mobile phone as an example. The chassis of a mobile phone, the casing, the glass, the camera module, the lens, the battery, the touch screen. These are all again independent manufacturers who then Foxcons of the world bring together and make an iPhone or any other mobile device. What I see is missing is clusterization. And I believe in the power of 100-kilometer radius. We build the entire ecosystem and build it out with a lot of detailing. That's what we've succeeded in Andhra Pradesh. We've started on the journey. We're building it out, and that's our verticals. Now, horizontal is where education comes in, where skills come in, where testing facilities come in. So that's the only way by which we can ensure that these ecosystems thrive. And that's exactly what makes Andhra Pradesh different from the other states in India.
And you bring a very unique vantage point in your role where you not only lead IT, you also lead human resources. Because I believe they go hand in glove, particularly in the business that I am in. I know this so well. And our Tech Mahindra's relationship with Andhra has been deep and growing. We already have 2,500 odd people. And the best part of what we have seen is the diversity that we are able to get. As a company, we have, I think, about 34% females. In Visakhapatnam, we have 49%. So it is a standout. It kind of goes to show the importance that has also been given to education and women's skill development. And that links so closely with all IT. Do you see it also that way, that human resources and IT for you are going hand in glove?
IT is for India, education is, or HRD is for Bharat. And I'm having to bring both together.
Yeah.
That's where I think one of the slides, Abhishek spoke about Naipunyam.
Yes.
Naipunyam is a very interesting experiment, if I may, which we're going to launch in October, where we're trying to match the supply and demand, where I have youngsters who are well-educated, who are searching for jobs, and then there's demand. I'm going to do the matchmaking, but we are building skill development into it, where assessment will be done, where state will guarantee that, in IT, this is the kind of level that this person is at. And then what is the skill intervention that's also required? The state is willing to do the skill intervention on your behalf. So I think Andhra Pradesh is uniquely positioned to deliver that. And we'll be one of the very first states to do it. And that's what will make us very different.
Absolutely. And thanks for giving that very vivid description about the state and the future and the kind of scale that you're envisaging. I think AI is going to be very important, and today no conversation is complete without the word AI. So the scale that you're aiming for, I believe AI can be a game changer. And I also heard you investing in quantum, which I'm not sure, maybe I'm misinformed, but I'm not sure any other state is thinking as deeply about AI and quantum. I heard Quantum Valley coming up in Amravati. Would love to hear your thoughts on how you believe you can harness AI as maybe a core engine of your growth.
If you look at it, India was a beneficiary of the IT revolution.
Yeah.
Right? We were able to leapfrog, up per capita incomes have jumped. But then AI is here. It's going to fundamentally transform the way we're going to work together. And it's important that I skill up. Otherwise, you're going to miss the bus. As simple as that. So we're looking at AI not just from an investment perspective, but we're actually taking a step back and looking at it also from, how do I skill up? Starting from colleges, from universities, the changes in curriculum. Starting from there, then doing the entire quantum ecosystem. So South Asia's first 158 qubit quantum computer is going to be in Amravati, in Jan.
South Asia's
first 158 qubit. It's going to be in Amravati.
Not in New Delhi.
In Amravati. Because we were the first state willing to lead the Honorable Prime Minister's quantum mission. And it's going to come to Amravati.
I think that calls for an applause.
And then we're going to build the use cases on it. You understand? Quantum requires use cases. We're going to build the use cases on it. We're going to dedicate certain capacity for startups to sort of use quantum computing. And I believe that will create an amazing ecosystem, again, in Amravati. But the kind of ecosystem we're building in Visakhapatnam around data, and the data city that's coming up there, that's going to, again, position Andhra Pradesh in a very unique manner. The cables that are going to land there are going to be double the capacity of Mumbai. Which, Mumbai is number one in India. We're going to double that. And this is going to happen in the next 3 years. And it's going to be 1.5 gigawatts of data centers coming up. And that's just the beginning. We're talking to a lot of other players out there. So I believe that Andhra Pradesh is well positioned from education, from skills, all the way from building the entire ecosystem. It could be quantum, it could be data city. I believe that we are positioned well.
And do you think GCCs would be a big beneficiary of this infrastructure, digital and the physical infrastructure that you're developing? And with all the buzz around GCCs and how they are becoming very strategic to global companies, and no longer they are the back office places. They are now more strategically building products for the future. And that's where I believe they are looking for states and cities which can provide them the right infrastructure and the right talent. And I think what you just told me potentially GCCs can be big beneficiaries of that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think GCCs boil down to talent.
Yeah.
Anyone can build an office space. I can give you best air conditioning. That's the easy bet, right? Go to Tech Mahindra. Just look around. I can challenge at least 25% of your workforce will be from the 2 Telugu-speaking states. So talent exists.
Yeah.
We have it. We are going to skill up.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us very unique as a state. Historically, due to lack of opportunity, because we were a combined state, all this talent used to go to Hyderabad.
Yeah.
But the state got bifurcated about a decade back. And now we are building this vibrant ecosystem in Visakhapatnam around IT. It could be data city, it could be the traditional services like what TechM or TCS would do, or even the GCCs. But the backbone is talent, and we have the talent in Andhra Pradesh. So I believe that again makes us very unique compared to any other state in India.
And while we spoke about AI, talking a little bit about the brick and mortar part of the economy, which is manufacturing, next gen manufacturing in particular, I think is going to be key for the growth of the country. Unless India gets its act right in manufacturing, it's going to be very hard to grow at 8 to 10% that is needed to get to the 2047 vision. And whether it is semiconductors or EVs or the green energy projects, some of the slides I saw from Abhishek were staggering numbers, and the vision was very, very evident. Maybe if you could really talk about how you see these sectors shaping Andhra Pradesh's industrial future.
I've given the lay of the land. If you've seen, starting from Kia all the way up to the chemical city, that's the lay of the land. But what will differentiate us is, again, the vertical and horizontal integration. Yeah. I think that will position us well. So let's talk about renewable energy as a case in point, right? Renew is a well-known player in the space. I heard that they were looking at manufacturing, and I had a conversation with Sinhaji, and we got one bit of it. And then when I had lunch with him in Delhi, he said, I'm looking at backward integration. So I want to go back to wafers. And let's start from there. What can Andhra do for me? That's the kind of work we're talking about. So, if India has to grow at double digit, we need to go back to the most basic and go all the way up to energy. So it's no longer just about, okay, energy is going to be done by one company, manufacturing going to be done by another company. Everyone's looking at integrating. And that's exactly the role that Andhra Pradesh can play. So that's the entire vertical bit. And the horizontal is the education, the skills, and the testing labs. And that's what again makes Andhra Pradesh very unique compared to other states. We are doing this in compressed biogas. We're working with Reliance. It's close to about a $5.5 billion investment coming into Andhra Pradesh. And they've not succeeded in any other states, but Andhra is moving fast. Close to 80,000 acres of barren land is going to be given on lease to Reliance by end of October, so they can grow Napier grass. Which can then be used to generate compressed biogas that can commercially be used for various other products. So that's the pace at which we want to move. And it's all concentrated in one zone, one district, which has quite a bit of barren land. But then that's where education comes in. So I'm already working with their team and say, okay, what's the curriculum? What's the kind of talent you need at the factory level, at the agri level? And that's the kind of role that we play. See, once you shake hands with Andhra Pradesh, it's no longer your project, it's our project. So together we do it. And as Abhishek has just shared, I think I'm on close to 12, 13 WhatsApp groups where every week my office gives an update. Okay, this is what we agreed this week, this is what has happened, this is the status. So I don't know about whether your CEO will follow up with you on a weekly basis, but rest assured, I will follow up on a weekly basis.
No, that's just so amazing. The kind of velocity that we see coming from bureaucrats today and politicians today actually far surpasses what we see in the corporate world. And while many states come by and talk about their economic plans and policies and trying to attract investments, from your vantage point, what really makes AP different from many others? I mean, you did talk about it in various questions I asked you, but if you want to just distill it down to 2 or 3 things that you believe that AP is really differentiated as compared to many other states. Because I'm sure this audience here would have heard many other states coming in. So maybe if you could.
So 3 clear reasons. 1, leadership with track record, which no other state can offer.
Yeah.
We've done it once, we'll do it all over again. No second thoughts about it. 2nd, speed of doing business. I've given clear examples of how we've come to achieve it. I can challenge you to find another state that can do it at the pace at which Andhra Pradesh can. And we'll beat them. No second thoughts about it. Third, we're hungry for your business. We'll bend backwards to land your investments in Andhra Pradesh. No second thoughts about it. I'll give you an example of it. Another example. It's no public knowledge. Skyroot, which is the SpaceX equivalent of in India, started by a very young entrepreneur. He met the Honorable Chief Minister in a dinner and said, the land you're offering is a bit expensive. Can you reduce the price? I mean, he had an open conversation with the CM. CM said, done. They arrived at a price. Then this entrepreneur was quite smart. I mean, he is an entrepreneur for a reason. He calls me and says, the CM offered me a price, but can you do better? I said, okay, we are beating around the bush. What is the price at which you want? He said, X. I took it up to the cabinet and I got it cleared. It's 300 acres given to them. They're going to build the entire space ecosystem. It's a 5,000 acre space city we're building with them as an anchor. And all this happened in a period of 1 week, 7 days. And I think we took 7 more days. In my view, it is 7 days too long. We could have done it in 24 hours. And Abhishek has clearly stated there are many examples where 3 days we cleared proposals. So we did all the 3 statutory meetings where we discussed it threadbare on proposals and we cleared it. And we're willing to do that for any of the investors. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a large or mega. Every investment is important for us. And if you want to be a $2.4 trillion economy and we want to grow at 15% CAGR, up from we're about 11% today, we have to fire on all horses, and we're quite clear that we are going to do it.
So it's evident that while you have the strategy, you have the right culture that you're brewing in the government, the performance centricity, the speed, the scale, and as they say, culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Yeah.
And I think that to me is coming out clearly. That is a very clear differentiator that you have compared to before that, and you kind of built a compelling case for the edge that Andhra Pradesh brings. But finally, I would also like to ask you about the diaspora and the soft power of the diaspora. Telugu diaspora here in UK and overall in Europe is a very, very powerful network and a soft power, if you will. How do you see the role, and how do you see them as ambassadors of Andhra Pradesh?
No, Telugu diaspora is massive. No second thoughts about it. They're pretty much now in all the boardrooms out there. And they play a very important role in being the brand ambassadors of the state. So my appeal to them is that, we are ready. We are here. We'll make it a worthwhile journey. That's been my pitch. And we've seen early success stories of those sort of now coming about in Andhra Pradesh. So they'll continue to play a very important role, and we'll actively engage with them. We have APNRT, which is for non-resident Telugus, which pretty much works across the globe. And we look forward to actually landing these initiatives in Andhra Pradesh.
No, thank you. So, Mr. As we wrap up, is there just one idea I would like this room to take home about Andhra Pradesh journey, about the ambition or its edge? If there's one idea you think the audience can take home, what would that be?
Well, we are a startup state.
Well
we are
said.
hungry. We have the passion. We have the commitment. Look at all the Fortune 500 companies, and they've all started with hunger. That's what we have. You will see the same passion, the same culture, as you rightly said. This is something that percolates across all the ministers, ministries, and offices. We are working with the same commitment to deliver. This, I believe, no other state has.
Yep.
And the reason is that we're all new. 17 of us, well, I'm not part of the 17 gang. But just to give you an idea, before a cabinet meeting, it might sound simple, but it's very important. And thank you for touching about culture. Before cabinet meeting, the ministers who are available, we actually meet for breakfast. We discuss about what's happened in the last 15 days. What are our hits? What are our misses? And we are a startup state which is willing to learn. We're willing to listen. We're also human. We make mistakes. 3 out of 10 decisions might go wrong, but we're here. We're willing to learn from our mistakes. We're willing to be open, frank, have a very honest conversation, and ensure that it's a smooth journey. And I believe this is something that's very unique to Andhra Pradesh that no other state in India can offer.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And thank you so much for a wonderful conversation, and thank you for connecting the dots so well. Thank you for taking us on a journey which I think was part strategy, part soul.
Mind and soul.
And a testament to the humble and the visionary leadership that you bring to the table. I know we could have gone on for an hour more, but I'm a little cognizant of the time. I would love to have some questions from the audience as well. But before we do that, I will be remiss if I don't congratulate you on the phenomenal, incredible performance of your son.
Yeah, thank you.
Not many of you would know, but I asked your team whether it would be okay to talk about this, and they say it's okay. So your son Devansh, he became he broke the world record this week.
It's been 2 months.
2 months.
But he got the award officially
Just
this week. 3 days back.
3 days back, and
He got me to UK. So I'm Devansh's father.
That's a very proud moment, I'm sure, for you and your family. And genius runs in the family, I guess.
He's smarter than me. So.
I'll leave it there. At 175.
So he solved 175 checkmate puzzles in 11 minutes and 59 seconds.
My gosh. And this achievement shadows everything else that Lokesh talked about.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Yeah, no second thoughts about it.
So, with that, I would like to carry the dialogue forward with the audience. Shil, how do you want to do this? We have mics in the room, and just state your name, which organization that you represent, and try to make it concise so that we can get a few more questions.
So, Honorable HR Minister Lokesh Garu and Kishore, my name is Dr. Kishore Babu Chansani. I'm a pharmaceutical professional based in Ireland.
Mic is probably not working.
Go ahead, we can all hear you.
Yeah, I'm a pharmaceutical professional based in Ireland. I have a startup company that I started a year and a half ago. We're developing high-value medicines for the EMA market, which is 26 member states in the EU and UK, which we are going to be commercial next year. More than a question, with the knowledge that we develop in the pharmaceutical industry and the passion that I have for Andhra Pradesh, with my colleagues that I developed an expert note that I would like to submit to you. It is about developing an effective ecosystem for pharma and health.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is somewhat missing when I try to see the business partnership of EMA region with India. It's there everywhere. But we developed something that a short report of 2 pages that I would like to submit for you. Checking with them, reviews, and maybe you can develop a task force. That's my practice. Thank you.
On pharma, if you look at it, in Visakhapatnam, we've landed quite a bit of the larger companies. Laurus Laboratories is building one of their largest center ever. And that will create the vibrant ecosystem to start off. But, we would love to hear from you. I believe on the vertical and horizontal. Again, go back to the basics, right? That's very important. And the testing ecosystem, the research ecosystem, and, that's going to be very critical. So I'll take the note from you. You can share it with them. Thank you.
Maybe one question from this side of the room. Yes, please. Tanu.
Okay, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Scott is again Professor at University of Warwick.
Nice.
Studying the research on AI and autonomous driving. Firstly, thank you, Honorable Minister, for mentioning Skylo. It's a company from a fellow Canadian from my current so I'm very pleased to see this.
I can hear you. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect. So I think you mentioned quite a bit, 2 times about being the startup state.
Yep.
And one of the things that is very interesting when you see graduation from a startup state to a big conglomerate, it's a natural thing. And I was wondering, with your experience and also the Honorable Chief Minister, what would you need to keep it intact in the state to keep the nimbleness and the responsiveness in the speed? Because as the size grows, history suggests that there are challenges, and there are successful startups, and there are not successful startups. So, what would you think we need to keep in the state to keep that nimbleness and the attractiveness?
It boils down to culture. It's about, every investment is important. Every investor is important. And it's not just about attracting new investments. It's also about going back to companies that have already invested and trying to understand how Andhra Pradesh can be part of their next investment and growth trajectory. So the culture to just listen and be there and stand up for what we believe is right, I think that is very, very important. And that is something that from the Honorable Chief Minister down to the entire administrative service, we're driving with a lot of rigor and energy. So every time I come across an article where I believe we have missed an investment, the team hears it from me. Abhishek is giving me a smile because I message him directly. I message my industries minister because there's a group of ministers that look at investment promotion. We're very frank, we're very open. We're like, this is an opportunity that we have missed. How is it that we missed? Where did we go wrong? How can we learn from it? So whatever has happened, but how can we learn from it? If you have that bent of mind and that culture permeating from the Chief Minister all the way down to the entire administrative service, I believe that can be potent and an amazing catalyst. And that is something that I believe that we should hold on to. And we should not be complacent.
From this side of the room, maybe.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
I just got a couple of questions, interlinked questions. We have recently had a free trade agreement from UK
Yep.
and India. So how do you think that you incorporate into the 2047 ecosystem of Pradesh? And I just question for you, getting the CBAM, so the carbon taxation. How do you think that the carbon tax? Hello, yeah, thank you. This is Chandrasekhar. I can hear you much better. So Lokesh ji, thank you very much. Welcome to London. So the free trade agreement which has been initiated this year, how do you think that's going to benefit the Andhra Pradesh in the bigger ecosystem of 2047? And the question is our CBAM, which is been charged from next year, the carbon tax emission taxes, how do you think that will actually nullify the free trade agreement? And how do you think as a state, central government India or as well as state government should take steps to benefit from the free trade agreement as well as the CBAM? So that will be really helpful to understand, so that we got a group of companies in our Chamber of Commerce who are quite concerned with the carbon emission taxes. So that will be helpful for us to give us some knowledge on that. Thank you.
I'm not too well. I'm not too familiar, honestly, with the impact of what it will be. But I can get back to you in terms of from a services industry standpoint, operating in the corridor of UK and India, how this could potentially impact us. It's not had any material impact at this point, but I can come back to you. I'll give you my card after this, and you can send me an email.
On FTA, there are clear sectors that have won. Textile, aqua, which is very big in Andhra Pradesh. I mean, it's about close to $3.5 billion ecosystem. So it's very, very important. I think these are early wins, as I say, but I think to get it operationalized will take a certain lag. There'll be, from a policy to operationalize, there'll be a certain lag. So our job is, of course, to reach out to our farmers, the various companies, and say, okay, there's an alternative opportunity that's emerging. We are, as a nation, I think we're going through interesting times, right? There are tariffs being imposed on India, and I believe crisis is an opportunity. That's been my approach. So I said, I've worked with the aqua industry. I said, okay, let's talk about the 25% problem. Right? The problem is 25% tariff. Great. So what do I need to do to augment the 25%? Where does Government of India fit? Where does Government of Andhra Pradesh fit? And that's been our approach, number one. That's what I believe is a temporary relief. But the long term is that we have to diversify. We have to look at new markets. New markets are opening up. From Andhra's perspective, the first containers to Ukraine were delivered, right? Russia and a few other countries. Europe is opening up. There's a great opportunity there. That's the second bit. Then comes the entire ecosystem on, how can we sort of augment it, build on it. So what's the primary processing, secondary processing, and tertiary processing? That's one. And then the fourth part is reforms. So as a state, we have taken this action plan, or we call this a 100-day action plan, where I got 5 entrepreneurs who are self-made billionaires to be on the advisory board, where we're looking at every act and regulation. And we've broken it into 3 things. One, that we can immediately throw out. I'll give you an example of what we think we should throw out. The Factories Act has a specific regulation which states that you need to whitewash the toilet door every 3 months or 6 months. This is the most ridiculous thing. I mean, who whitewashes a toilet door anymore? It's still there. So these are regulations that I believe that we should do away right away. Second are things that require changes as way of legislation. The third requires a bit of political capital to be invested. We are willing to do it as a state. So I'll give you an example of this. So I met Ashwini Vaishnavji, who's the Honorable Minister for Railways, IT, Electronics. And I told Ashwini throw me a challenge that Andhra Pradesh can solve. He said, Lokesh, 2 things. Labor reforms and get rid of Nala tax. Land conversion. I did both in 45 days. We did it. Because we have the spirit, we can do it. And that's been the hallmark of the administration. And we'll do it again. So again, tariffs is it's a crisis, I agree. And it's an opportunity for India to shine beyond singular market. And I believe that we can do better. So that's been our approach as far as FTA and the entire tariff landscape. Thank you, boss.
We have time for one last question. Maybe this gentleman here.
I have a very small question for you, Honorable Minister. I'm a journalist visiting from India at London School of Economics, and my next destination is, of course, Stanford, just like you. The question is this, that when you or your father started 1992 dairy, did this thought come to your mind that you would offer land at 99 paisa? What was the mantra behind this?
Okay, on
this
the
question I should have reserved for my own podcast with you to go viral. But nonetheless, I'll take this opportunity here.
Well, so Mr. Naidu is a strong believer that the family shouldn't depend on politics for livelihood. He's a strong believer of that. And he's been very vocal about it. That's why he started 3 companies before dairy. And he's a relentless. I mean, if you look at it, his success is persistence and perseverance, right? And he brought that even to family business. But I should credit, it's not just him, because he was there only for a year. After that, it was all my mom who ran the business. And then I joined, and then, of course, my wife, Brahmi, who's also Stanford MBA. We understand them being part of a business family. We understand the importance that government plays. Land is just one component of it. Energy, cost of energy is a very important component. And creating an enabling environment is very, very important. See, what I believe is India should grow at double digit, no second thoughts about it. And there are fundamental things that we need to solve. I'm sure you saw the presentation where we are offering 700 services on a single WhatsApp number. We are the only government on this planet to do that. And we're doing it with a lot of rigor, a lot of focus, using technology as an enabler. We believe that this can accelerate the entire approach. So I'll give you another example of it. Let's talk about energy costs. So in fact, funny, I was having this conversation today. I said, it's about, okay, this is how much it's costing us. So this is how much the consumer should pay. I said, flip it on its head. Let's say what is the lowest cost of energy in India? X rupees. Let's go minus 50 paisa and work backwards and say, what is the price at which I should procure energy? What is my operational cost? Today, Andhra has X as an operational cost of energy. I said, why is it so much? I want to challenge the status quo. Why are we inefficient? Where are we inefficient? And how do we cut our costs? So I believe that these are going to be strategic advantages for us as a state. On the 99 paise, see, IT plays a very important role in building the ecosystem, right? I'm sure sir can vouch for it. Every IT job that directly you create, indirectly close to 7 jobs get created. We understand the power of it. I mean, Mr. Naidu understands the power of it. Now, how can I differentiate as a state? Talent, of course. Second is land, which is one of the major component and cost structure for IT companies. I offered it at 99 paise, which no one believed it's possible. And I got it done. And I got it done through cabinet. And now there is a policy called lift policy. The first 100 companies in a certain category opt to Andhra Pradesh, they're going to get the same 99 paise deal. It's a policy. It's going to stand the test of time and politics. So whatever we do it with a lot of thought, a lot of persistence and perseverance, and we execute on the field. That's how we got TCS. That's how we got Cognizant. And there will be a few more announcements in the next few months coming to Visakhapatnam. Thank you.
How much time do you have? 5 more minutes. A lot of people pointing for questions. And do we? Okay. So I think we'll just wind up now. I think that gentleman will just take one last question from this gentleman here. He's been raising his hand for a long time.
Thank you very much. I'm Phil Rush from Ivanti Global. We're really encouraged to hear your focus on speed of doing business and welcome the mentions earlier around P4. We're exploring making an investment of around $250 million over a 3-year period. That would be in electric buses and assembly plants that would be great to do in AP. How, or is it possible, for us to get that kind of deal through with yourselves in the kind of timelines you're talking about? Maybe a week. Thanks.
Not maybe. We can do it in a week. We can shake hands. No, but so Abhishek Kishore will stay back and lead the conversation. So I would request all of you to call Economic Development Board your single port of call. So it's professionally led team. The website is out there. We can give you we can share the numbers with CII, and they can then onward share it with you. It's a professional led team, so they're vertical specialists. So EV has a specialist who will reach out to you and have a direct conversation with you in that sense. And every deal that comes in gets tagged on an IT platform. I'm the IT minister. There will be an IT platform, and we review it. We review it on a fortnightly basis to ensure that we are living up to our end of the bargain, which is the speed of doing business. So that's the way we've approached it so far. That's the way we made deals. And it all depends on the number of jobs you're going to create. The more number of jobs you create, the more time you'll get from me. So, in terms of investment, though Reliance is not in the top 5 because we have bigger companies, but the number of jobs they create is very important. The CBG creates a maximum number of jobs. So they get the most amount of time from me. So literally on a daily basis, you won't believe, on a daily basis, their team updates us on a WhatsApp group where we have the revenue minister who's in charge of the land. We have the energy minister who's in charge of the larger CBG project. And then as a GM chair, I'm there and all the IS officers are there. On a daily basis, we review it. We agreed on this target, where are we today? So this is the way we actually work with companies. We're doing the same way with Oberois and the hoteliers, because they're very strategically very important. So we're very transparent. We just follow up, make sure that things get grounded, landed, and they're executed. So we look forward to having this conversation post session.
Thank you, everyone. I unfortunately don't have time for more questions. Wish we had more time. Yeah. So on that positive note, thank you again for that wonderful conversation.